The ratings for Live with Kelly and Mark dipped earlier this year when Kelly Ripa was absent. Her husband and co-host, Mark Consuelos, missed a few shows earlier this month for an unexplained reason. Now that he's back, he opened up about acting inappropriately during his health issues that kept him off the show. Keep reading to find out what he did. Mark Consuelos returns to Live after unexpected absence. ABC has had a shortage of hosts for their talk shows this month due to health issues. Joy Behar missed nearly a week of The View after an injury. Kelly Ripa welcomed guest hosts to Live amid her husband's unexplained absence. Her husband of nearly 30 years, Mark Consuelos, became her official co-host in 2023 after Ryan Seacrest left. Live Mark Consuelos, but he was back on the air on Monday's episode. Kelly Ripa started a discussion about a new acronym sweeping the internet. She described FOFO as the fear of finding out and related it to medical issues. There are things you can nip in the bud, and instead, you let it get to the place where it's beyond repair, Kelly Ripa warned. In response, her husband confessed to finally having his first colonoscopy recently at the age of 54. According to the American Cancer Society, men should start having the procedures done around the age of 45. The colonoscopy seemingly was done around the time Mark Consuelos missed several episodes of Live, though he didn't confirm that was the reason for his absence. "I'm 54 and I hadn't had one yet, so that's late," the talk show host admitted. He shared details about the routine health test. Mark Consuelos said that he tried to fight the anesthesia to stay awake longer but couldn't. "Afterwards I remember sitting there, and I remember I didn't want to say anything silly. I didn't want to say anything silly in the recovery room, but I felt very rested," he said. But that was tough after he noticed a pretty nurse. That's when things went sideways. He opens up about acting inappropriately amid health issues. "I see my nurse is this young girl, and she was adorable. She was really, really cute, and I thought she'd be amazing for my son Joaquin. But I shut my mouth," Mark Consuelos said. He added, "I kept it shut. I was gonna ask her if she was single. I didn't do it. I was gonna ask her how old she was. I didn't do it. I didn't say anything." Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos. Kelly Ripa revealed that he told her all about it when he came home after the procedure. "You came home, and you were like there was a nurse. I tried to set her up with Joaquin, but then I thought I shouldn't say anything. So I kept my mouth shut. Aren't you proud of me? And I was like, oh Lord, he's still high." She told the audience that it would have been inappropriate for her husband to try to set up their son with his nurse. The couple shares 3 children, Michael 28, Lola 24, and Joaquin 22. Their youngest son graduated from the University of Michigan earlier this year and moved back to Manhattan, New York, while figuring out his next move. Tell us in the comments if you agree it would have been inappropriate for Mark Consuelos to try to set his nurse up with his son. In the carefully choreographed world of morning television, where the coffee is always hot and the banter is always light, moments of raw, unfiltered humanity are rare gems. These are the instances that transcend the typical chatter about celebrity gossip and cooking segments, forging a genuine connection with the audience watching from their living rooms. On a recent Monday morning, Live with Kelly and Mark delivered one such moment, transforming from a simple talk show into a platform for a surprisingly profound discussion about health, fear, and the vulnerabilities that bind us all. The episode marked the warmly anticipated return of Mark Consuelos, who had been absent from the show for several days for an unexplained reason. His absence had been felt keenly. Earlier this year, the show's ratings demonstrably dipped during co-host Kelly Ripa's own time away, proving the unique, alchemical chemistry of this real-life married couple as the program's bedrock. With Consuelos back in his seat, the stage was set not for a dramatic revelation, but for a candid confession that would resonate far beyond the studio walls. The setup, FOFO, and the fear that holds us back. The segment began, as it often does, with Kelly Ripa steering the conversation. Ever the savvy commentator on modern life, she introduced the audience to a new acronym sweeping the internet, FOFO, or the fear of finding out. With her characteristic blend of wit and wisdom, Ripa related this digital age anxiety to the very tangible realm of personal health. There are things you can nip in the bud, and instead, you let it get to the place where it's beyond repair, she warned, her tone shifting from playful to pointed. It was a universal sentiment, one that countless viewers undoubtedly recognize from their own lives: the postponed doctor's appointment, the ignored symptom, The dreaded test that always seems like a problem for tomorrow. It was this opening that created the perfect runway for Mark Consuelos' vulnerability. Seizing the moment, he turned to his wife and the audience and confessed, "I'm 54 and I hadn't had one yet, so that's late." The one in question was a colonoscopy, a routine but often dreaded screening procedure for colorectal cancer. According to the American Cancer Society, adults at average risk should begin regular screenings at age 45. At 54, Consuelos was nearly a decade behind schedule, a fact he acknowledged with a refreshing and relatable honesty. While he did not explicitly confirm it was the reason for his absence, the timing was a clear indication. His absence was not for a glamorous film role or a tropical vacation, but for a fundamental act of self-care, one that he, like so many, had put off for years. The confession, anesthesia, awkwardness, and a father's instinct. What followed was a masterclass in using personal narrative to demystify a medical procedure. Consuelos, with Ripper reacting with a mixture of amusement and spousal exasperation, walked the audience through his experience. He shared the almost universal impulse to fight the anesthesia, a battle he, like everyone else, swiftly lost. He described the post-procedure haze, noting, "Afterwards I remember sitting there and I remember I didn't want to say anything silly, but I felt very rested."